Okay, Matt here. Matt's Kayaking Adventures. We're at Marion Access on the Missouri River. It's dark. Got things put away for the night pretty much, maybe. I have a guest with me tonight, Alice.
Hi.
Sitting by the campfire. Gotta put some things away yet here before we go to bed. She's in the tent. She wasn't liking the bugs. But we got 7 miles to make in the morning to the Sandbar Down River, and then at that point we will camp again tomorrow night. And this is actually the pre-trip from my Gasconade trip. Make sure we have everything. Sitting by the campfire. So when we got here, was able to get the tent up before it got dark. And a few, camp chores done. And then I realized I had forgotten a bag. A very important bag. It had everything I need to make tents so we could cook our food and different things of that nature. That bag had all the camp necessities in it, minus the tent, sleeping bags. Had the hardware, basically, of camping in it. So I was able to reach out to my daughter-in-law with the walkie-talkie because my cell phone, amazingly, did not have any service here. So I reached out to her. I'm like, hey, go to my house, get my bag and bring it out here, or you're just going to come and get us because we can't cook, we can't do anything without that bag. So she went to the house, found that bag that should have been in my totes ready to go for camping. For some reason it wasn't. So, but that's the reason I did this trip, was to make sure that when I set out on the Gasconade, I have all my equipment, it's all functioning. Because when you do a big trip like the Gasconade River, 12 days, you don't want to have to forget the main necessities that you're going to depend on. So, now I can rest easy that I have all my gear. It will all be put away properly till next week when I get it out again. I will load up Edmund Fitzgerald tomorrow because I've never put this load on that vessel. I've been camping with her before, but it was a different tent and some different other equipment. So I've kind of upgraded, and so I don't know how she's going to handle with the about 20 extra pounds I put on her. But we're going to figure all that out in the morning. We're just sitting by the campfire tonight, thinking, chilling, relaxing. I had a stressful week at work. So now I'm going to forget all about that, relax, take a mini weekend vacation. And when I go back to work, I'll be a new person again. And then in a week, I'm going to take the 12 days, do my Gasconade River trip, and have the time of my life, I hope. This is a very well-planned trip, so I don't expect any issues. We've had a lot of precipitation. We will get a little precipitation on the trip, it looks like, maybe, on the long-range forecast. But that could change because it is a long-range forecast. But with that said, I'm hoping maybe we'll have a little bit of high water. That will make the first 3-4 days a little bit easier if we have just a foot or two higher water than normal. Of course, that's a long ways from flood stage, so there's no issues there. And we're just hoping to have a good time. Should be a good time. And we're just going to do it, and we're going to make it a good time. So, I'll check in the morning after we get all loaded up and all that good stuff. So, we've spent the night at Marion Access on the Missouri River, and it's early. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. We got people starting to roll in to go fishing. Here's my view from the camp. People out there fishing already. Nice sunrise. Here's the deal. Got a little fire going. Get some coffee going. Didn't have any visitors from critters last night. So here's a setup. Alright, so we'll check back in with you here in a little bit when I start packing up, so I can see how we load the kayak, and I'll check in with you later. Okay, so we made it to the river. Got the kayak all loaded. And then this evening, we'll show you how I got it loaded. Kind of undecided at the moment how stable it is. It's kind of hard to tell when you got your feet dangling over the edge. Okay, so I think that went well. He seems to be okay right now at the moment. My load plan that I had worked out did not exactly work as it was on paper. But I was able to rearrange things and make it all work. So tonight, like I said, we'll show how I got it all loaded. Now up here in the creek, we got a tree almost all the way across the creek. see what happened already. Let's see why it's not in the water. So there's the root ball right there. Now, obviously what has happened is the creek has washed away the bank from underneath the tree, and the tree just fell in. Water gets up high enough, it'll wash off some of that dirt off that root ball, and this tree will end up one day in the Mississippi River. We can go around this tree on the other end over there if we want to, or decide to, whatever. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'll check in with you later. We have a almost peekaboo right here. I don't know if it's in view or not. Couldn't get turned around. Well, it's not a peekaboo yet, but it sure ain't sticking out very far. The joys of the Missouri River. So, we broke through the eddy line there at Marion. Didn't have any problems. She might have been a little bit unstable coming through there, but really nothing to worry about. So, we passed our fishing boat passed us, gave us some waves. Went through them like nothing. I didn't get that on video because I was sending a text message from my tracker to the ground crew, who is not responding on the radio. I'm not sure why. But anyway, we're good. Alice is having some issues, so we may just go all the way to Jeff City and not camp tonight. We're gonna see if she starts feeling better, and then we'll figure it out when we get there. So we'll check in later. So, but it's a beautiful day. We got a slight little tailwind once in a while. I had a fisherman tell me when we left camp that he had on his electronics, fish finder, depth finder, whatever he's got, that the river was going 3 miles an hour. I haven't checked it with my GPS because I just really don't care. I think Alice is enjoying herself for the most part, other than not feeling well. So we're just going to push on to Jeff City. Alright, we'll check in if we see some excitement or when we get to Jeff City, whichever. Okay, little change of plans. She thought, I thought maybe she'd feel better if she got out of the kayak for a little bit and walked around or whatever. So we came to the sandbar camp that we were going to pass up and go on to Jeff City. So we get here and she's like, well, maybe we could camp here tonight, but there's no shade. I'm like, wait a minute, you want shade? Guess I showed her, huh? So what I did is I went in and found 2 sticks on the sandbar. Obviously I had the tarp with me. I obviously had the string with me. So strung them up. Just take the corners into the sand back there, so the wind holds it up for me. And she had the nerve to ask me if I could make shade. I don't know. It's like she's never been camping with me before or something.
I don't think it worked.
Okay, so the Fitzgerald. That's how she's loaded up. So, had some issues there for a second. Sorry about that. This is how she's loaded up. She handles just fine. Alice tells me she sets a little low in the back, but not bad. And that's the optimum position if you were to ask me. So there you have it. We'll set up the tent right over here in a few minutes or whatever. It's early. Been a nice short day. It's, you know, we did about 2.5 hour float, and it was just that, a float. We didn't really put paddle to the water. 7 miles, about 3.5, 2, maybe 3 hours, I don't know, who cares. Anyway, so here we are. We got a lazy day. Nice breeze blowing to keep us cool. I can work on my tan. And not a whole lot of firewood, so we might be kind of skimpy on the campfire tonight, but we can live with that. All right, I'll check in later. Okay, let's take a minute to look at the way I have the Fitzgerald loaded for this trip. So we'll start with the front hatch. So I got some ammunition, a little extra tripod, which I think I'm going to use right now. Alright, then I have toiletry, and the other part of the toiletry, 2 gallons of water, and food. That's all that's in the front hatch. Not much room for anything else, really. I got a little bit extra space on the sides, but for something really small, but I don't think I really need anything else in there. So, food, 2 gallons of water, toiletry stuff. Alright, that goes in the front hatch. Okay, and my front deck bag, we have a variety of things. Okay, the front deck bag, we have the rainbow knife, we have the first aid kit, we have medical supplies like Tums and that kind of thing. We have navigation lights if I ever need them, and we have the MR340 bag. That all goes in there. Yeah, the first aid kit, bungee cord, medications. I don't think I took anything else out of there. So that goes in there. And it's secured to the deck really good. So next, we have behind the seat, we got a throw bag. We got the solar chargers. and then my sponge and my maps and whatnot. And then my dry box is in there. I also put my phone and whatnot loose in the floorboard right there. Now this bag, we have a variety of things. We have on the radio. So ground crew was wanting some information on from my MKA webpage. Alright, so we were getting ready to do the deck bag. So in the deck bag, I got my cover for the kayak. I got my camping chair, camping table, clothes, sleeping bag, and cot. That goes in the stern deck bag. The wheels will get fastened to the top of the deck bag. And the rear hatch, which I'm not going to open just yet. We have the tent and the camping bag, 3 gallons of water, and the hatchet. That's pretty much all that's in there. I got, okay, got the river view. That's the view we're gonna see in the morning. We got a little shade shelter put up. We're gonna have to readjust it pretty soon. Because, you know, Alice, she's just kicked back, enjoying me doing everything. But then again, this is my trip, so okay, I got it. And we got the tent set up, ready to move in for the night. And like I said, this will be our view from the morning when we wake up and come out of the tent.
I thought I looked so good in the bathing suit, you know, I could just sit here and look pretty for you.
Well, that works. And then we got neighbors down here. They pulled in a half hour or so ago. They're setting up camp. They one of the boats has some engine trouble. Apparently they sucked up some sand in their cooling system. Water pump sucked up some sand because they got too close to the sandbar, or too shallow into the sandbar, or you know, whatever. It's a motorboat thing, something that us kayakers ain't ever got to worry about, because we run into low water, which, you know, we might damage our hull, which could be a bad thing, but you know, we're always gonna get home. We might have to stop and put some Flex Seal tape on it or something, but you know, we're gonna get home without no issues. Motorboaters, on the other hand, well, you know,
that's a different story.
Anyway, here we are. The campfire ready to go. If the wind dies down enough, that would be the kicker right there. Anyhow, this is camp for the night, and we're gonna enjoy it.
I'm glad I decided to.
We'll tune in, or we'll check back in the morning, or later on after a while. You know, who knows? We'll check back with you, let you know what's going on. Alright, so we set up camp. We've got here sun setting in just about an hour. I thought I'd take a minute and share some campfire thoughts. So here's a campfire thought for you. It's called The Art of Tempting Fate. Why not wearing a life jacket while kayaking is a bad idea. Some people love living on the edge, skydiving, eating gas station sushi, or kayaking without a life jacket? If you're considering the latter, let's take a moment and reflect on why that choice only extra confident or mildly reckless paddlers make. You launch your kayak confidently, feeling invincible. The water is calm. The sun is shining. You think, do I really need a life jacket? After all, you're an experienced paddler. You'll just stay upright, right? Clue: nature is laughing in your face. Step 2. The unexpected disaster. Rivers are freckle beats. One moment, the water is gentle, compassion. The next, it's slamming you into a submerged log while an angry carp dive bombs your head. Maybe the current suddenly grabs you. Maybe you misjudge the stability of your kayak while reaching for a snack. Either way, you are now not in the kayak anymore, and the river does not care about your confidence. Step 3. The graceful water entry. Without a life jacket, your swimming skills are now being put to the test, whether you want them to be or not. If you're lucky, you're frail towards your kayak and get back in with dignity. Unlikely. If you're unlucky, the river turns you into an unwilling stunt performer while your friends film from the shore, definitely not helping. Step 4. The lessons in humility. Eventually, you make it back to land, soaking wet, exhausted, and questioning your life choices. Your kayak buddies helpfully remind you how wise it would have been to wear that life jacket. You nod humble. And next, you wear the life jacket. Because no matter how good you think you are, rivers will always remind you who's in charge. Not wearing a life jacket while kayaking is the aquatic equivalent of riding a motorcycle without a helmet. It might look cool for 5 seconds, but the risks far outweigh any illusion of bravery. So do yourself a favor. Wear the life jacket. Keep your dignity intact and avoid becoming the main character in a cautionary tale told by paddlers for years to come.
That was really good.
I know. So just some thoughts to think about while you're sitting around the campfire. Maybe after you've got lucky and not worn your life jacket for that day, do yourself a favor and all the rescuers or would-be rescuers a favor and wear the damn life jacket.
Yes.
All right, so we are on the Missouri River, so I got another campfire thought for you. Kayaking the Missouri River, a survival guide for the brave and the slightly reckless. So, you've decided to kayak the Missouri River. Bold move. While its majestic waterway full of history and scenic beauty, it's also full of surprises, some of which might leave you questioning your life choices. Let's take a look at the real and slightly ridiculous dangers of this great river. The flying carp, nature's unwanted surprise. You think mosquitoes are bad? Try being randomly assaulted by a flying silver carp. These fish have a unique defense mechanism, launching themselves out of the water at high speeds in what can only be described as aquatic reenactment of the Matrix. They don't care if you're peacefully paddling. They see movement, they panic, and suddenly you're in a mid-air boxing match with a 20-pound fish. If one hits you, congratulations. You've now earned the title of battle-scarred river warrior, just trying to stay upright. Buoys that play hide and seek. Navigation buoys are meant to guide boats, right? That's cute. The Missouri River has a different approach. Sometimes buoys drift away from where they are supposed to
Like the
be,
green one.
turning into rogue markers that could just as easily lead you into a hazard rather than away from it. Hit one and you'll get first-hand physics lessons on kayak stability. Ignore them and, well, you might just end up somewhere unattended, like the middle of a barge lane. Wing dikes, the river's hidden booby trap. Wing dikes are supposedly there to control water flow, but in reality, they're sneaky obstacles waiting to mess up your day. They lurk just below the surface in some areas, making them the perfect trap for unwary paddlers. 1 minute, you're cruising along like a professional adventurer. The next, your kayak is suddenly deciding to test its durability against a pile of submerged rock and concrete. If you've never attempted an unplanned exit from your kayak before, wing dikes will ensure you have that experience.
Firsthand.
Changing currents. The Missouri River's mood swings. The Missouri River has no chill. 1 moment it's smooth and inviting, the next it's whipping around like a caffeinated toddler.
So it's bipolar.
Hidden currents can grab your kayak and send you places you never intended to go, like straight into an overhanging tree or an unexpected whirlpool of excitement. If you're lucky, you'll recover with only a few scratches and a new respect for moving water. If not, well, let's just say it'll make a great story later, assuming someone eventually fishes you out. Final thoughts. Paddle at your own risk. The Missouri River is a breathtaking waterway, but it has a mischievous streak. Between the airborne fish attacks, rogue buoys, sneaky wing dikes, and surprise currents, kayaking here is basically an adventure sport with a dash of comedy. So strap in, well, not literally, never strap yourself into a kayak. Keep your paddle steady and embrace the chaos. May your journey be thrilling, your kayak stay upright, and your encounters with flying fish be minimal. Safe paddling, river warrior. Interesting thoughts on that.
I need.
Alright, so we left our sandbar a little bit ago. Beautiful, peaceful day on the Missouri. Coming up on Cedar Creek. We got a sand dredge in the middle of the river. It does not appear to be working today. Not very many boat traffic just yet, but I'm sure after a while it'll pick up. We got a motorboat coming at us. Let's see what happens with this.
Hey. Can they see us?
Huh? Oh gee. I guess they can. We're fine. You just stay right there. We're on your course.
I'm gonna stay.
Just stay on course.
It's heading right for us.
Stay on course.
Okay.
Turn. See if we get some wave over the bow. Yeah, buddy.
Holy crap.
Wave over the bow.
That's fun.
So, you know, everybody has realized, and
Now which way are we going?
some of you know the story behind the freighter Edmund Fitzgerald, which sank November 10th, 1975 in Lake Superior, 17 miles off of Whitefish Point. Oh, I'm getting too much in. Anyway, one of the theories of the ship sinking was, we all know it was in a really bad storm on Lake Superior, along with the freighter Arthur M. Anderson, who was guiding the Fitzgerald because the Fitzgerald had lost both their radars. So they were essentially navigating the lake in a storm blind. But anyway, one of the theories that the Edmund Fitzgerald sank was the Three Sisters or Rogue Wave lifted up their stern and the ship drove itself to the bottom of Lake Superior. Theory is, though, when that happened, because they were in such a bad storm and taking waves over the deck, they thought, this is theory, the crew probably thought that a big wave just went over their bow, when in all actuality it had went underwater. So I named this kayak Edmund Fitzgerald. Several reasons, but it's not because of the tragedy of the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's what that ship accomplished in the 17 years of service. So I get excited when I get waves over the bow, which caused the freighter Edmund Fitzgerald to sink. I don't know. Interesting. You know, it's just one of those things. For those of you that don't know, the actual cause of the sinking of that ship is still unknown. All right, let's get back to some serious stuff. Do I hear another boat coming?
Yes.
You got a river buoy over here. It's been a while since we looked at river buoys. Let's go take a look. No, it ain't moving. Well, no, it's supposed to be moving. Maybe it is. Who knows? You stay on course.
I stay on course.
I'm gonna go play at the river buoy.
Are you going to go try to catch it? Matthew, that's not a good idea.
I know, but when do I ever, I mean, you know.
Matthew! You're not dying today.
Oh, there's a famous river buoy. She's freaking out because of that boat, probably. I sure hope she don't go for a swim today. And of course, like a courteous boater, they slow down. Okay,
Hey.
that was entertaining. So we have another sand dredge ahead of us.
I thought you said left.
What? Just hold your course, you're fine. You think she'd never been kayaking before. She has, by the way. Okay, here's another reminder. Got a dredge barge. It's got cables coming out the upriver end of it, off the corners. You cannot see them until, oh, it's too late. So always keep a very safe distance from these things. These things are nothing to play with, and trust me, there's nothing to see underneath there. Nothing you want to see underneath there, put it that way. So stay away. It's not, I know it's not going to show up on camera, but I can actually see the cable on the far side going into the water. I can't see the one on this side. I have no idea where it is. But I do know it's not out this far. Sometimes I have them coming out on the side. So, oh, I'm past the front so I can get up next to it. No, bad idea. Don't play with these things. They will not play nice, I promise. Okay, you see the logs right there? That is one of the cables on that front corner on this side. That is where one of the cables goes. That's where the cable's going in the water at. So this one, they don't have them sticking out very far. If I can get turned around and get a better view on the camera or not. But those logs are right there, and you can see the cave. Now I gotta get away from it. This is actually too close. Don't get this close.
Are you serious right now?
Even though it's not going anywhere, water next to there will suck you under.
Is that fun?
You can't believe I did what?
You were really close to that.
I was really close to that. Think maybe I was closer I should have been?
You were a little bit too close.
Right. Let me just say this. You should never get close to a barge. But in the words of Chris, Matt only does this for educational purposes. Do not do what he does.
Oh, Lord. Can we try not to die on this trip on the way home?
I am a professional, well, I can't say professional. Experienced, there we go. Experienced kayaker. That's not gonna happen to me.
Okay. You just jinxed yourself.
Now, how many of people believe that statement? Not me.
Oh, Matthew.
Because guess what happens? As
And
soon
you
as you start
wonder why
thinking, no,
I
that's not
do
gonna
that
happen to me, I
so
could do
much.
that. Yeah, well, that's when the river's gonna take you.
Matthew. You are not funny.
Well,
I'm not laughing.
yeah, well, you know. Barges are actually no laughing matter. And yes, I did get too close. Don't do that.
It made me nervous, like sinks my stomach. Oh.
Alright, we'll check in when we get to home port. Alright, the river is alive. Now the boat coming.
Let's go, baby.
Left turn. Left turn. Won't you go for a swim?
Hell yeah.
So he slowed down for us and we motioned for him to go faster. That's why you've seen him slow down and then speed up. We told him to speed up. It's always nice to meet other boaters on the water that know hand signals.
You both come back.
It's a different boat.
Hey, I know you guys.
Yeah.
I thought I recognized you.
Oh,
Jesus.
wait, turn. Camera's going.
Nasty, you gotta get
We got a 12-pounder too. Right
Whoa,
off the bank down there on that point.
check that out.
33-pounder. Like, holy shit!
Holy cow. There's the
Yeah.
monster buddies.
Nasty, you gotta get
And we got one about half that size too. We caught some sturgeons. Caught big old
Holy
carp, too.
cow. All right, yeah.
We're gonna eat some catfish.
Are you guys inviting us? I'll eat it.
You don't eat fish.
I know,
You just want the company.
Holy
Oh, the
shit.
GoPro, I love that. Yeah, that's
We
awesome.
got the fish.
That is
It's rolling right
awesome.
now.
Oh, that's awesome. I really like to learn how
Holy
to
cow.
use those. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. That's
Holy cow,
Yeah,
what
he's
a
a beauty.
fish.
He's been eating good.
Yeah.
so. That's just a start. I wanna get a 100-pounder.
I'm sure they're in here.
Oh, they are.
Oh, yeah.
They are. So
Well, cool, good luck.
I hope we run into you guys again.
No, I'm always on the river.
You
Yeah.
guys are good people.
Missouri River's our favorite.
Yeah. I'm gonna be on here a lot myself.
Well, after
Especially
catching that, yeah, I'd be too.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Cool
All
beans.
right, I'm out of here.
All right,
All right.
Bye guys.
thanks.
See you later.
See you guys.
Oh, they were our camping neighbors last night. Came out to do what, well, he did what he come out to do.
That was cool as shit. That was one big motherfucker.
Hey,
Oh, sorry.
all right. That was totally awesome. The river's all mixed up now. All that local boat traffic right here. Got another boat coming. I got waves coming every direction. Turn into this way. Gotta be over there on that side of the channel anyhow, or that side of the river anyway for the channel. There's a good old Capitol up ahead. We're just over a mile from Homeport. So we made it to Homeport Marine Access. Fitzgerald did wonderful. As you know, this last little leg of the river we had a lot of boat traffic, a lot of waves, and she handled it like it was nothing. So I'm happy with the way it's loaded. Now I just got to remember how I loaded it that way for my Gasconade River trip.
Oh, you're funny.
And that's gonna be a fun trip next week. Well, we start next week. Gonna be in the river 12 days. Maybe we can make it shorter, I don't know. But I have allotted 12 days for that. So I'll check in with you then.